Hello everyone, this is Ritz,
Hello everyone, I am S.
and today we're going to be talking about top 10 logical mistakes in IPK.
Of course.
I will let us go first this time.
Okay. My first logical mistake that I found in IPK, maybe if this mistake was not there, then this whole show wouldn't have been there. I still don't get it how Arnav never figures out that Kushi is not a part of the plan when it's such a big committee, and I still don't understand how the fashion designers thought that Kushi is a model. Granted, Sanaya is beautiful, but I still don't get it how they do it, because usually such events are planned like 4 months in advance. And are you saying that if they have someone like Coco Rocha or someone planned, they will mistake her for somebody else? Just saying. I don't understand that.
I also don't know, I assume backstage would have cameras given the sensitivity and amount of work that goes into like a fashion show. I would assume they'd have security and like, am I supposed to think that Kushi's like, I don't know, James Bond, she can sneak in anywhere? Don't understand that. Okay, my first one is Anjali's never present pregnancy bump, I suppose. Like she is just never pregnant. We S and I did some snooping, and 15 days before she has, like, she's supposed to be 9 months pregnant and ready to give birth, and has that huge bump right when she miscarries. I think that's like 8.5 months into her pregnancy. She has a flatter stomach than me, and I I'm like, I understand Daljit and Anjali are fit, but I am also, that's just a tad bit unrealistic that she has that flat a stomach 8.5 months into her pregnancy.
Yes, yes. I mean, I do laud the makers for actually having her term come to an end when she was about to deliver. But also, I don't understand why her stomach is like she has an overnight 5 month growth. Like Arnav and Khushi's shadi begins, and everyone remembers she's pregnant. I assume that's the point where they started planning out Anjali's miscarriage and Sham's entry. That's why the bump made a sudden appearance. The next thing is that there's a lot of things in the kidnapping track, but if I have to pinpoint to one thing that for the life of me I couldn't understand is Manorama and Kushi. There were many logical things. This is one thing that is completely illogical. Is Manorama and Kushi tracking down a goon because of a Scorpio tattoo on his hand? Are they CID? First of all, my thing is that even CID won't give like this is something I've literally seen in CID shows where you track people down because of a tattoo. Second is, which tattoo shop will keep on telling them what design it is? Kush's photographic memory is on a different level. How will they keep on? Why would random shops give her information as to who has that tattoo on their hand? That is there. I will couple this with another one because this is a kidnapping track. The second thing I don't understand are the security.
Airport tapes.
Yeah. You're telling me Indira Gandhi National Airport has their security footage in VHS tapes that anyone can easily enter with. I died. वही पे I मेरी आत्मा को शांति मिल गई. That this is this is the end of the show. I cannot watch this. There were so many other ways to do it. I wish this was not the way to do it. It could have easily been some random person uploading a video or something from their phone, and Kushi noticed in the corner that someone patted Arnav Singh Raizada for, I don't know, a chat or something.
I mean, I don't want to think about the kidnapping track. I just ignore it ever happened. So, um, my next one is, what was Sham's endgame? Like, what exactly did he like? You know how people ask you, like, what is your 5 year plan? Or, like, where do you want to be in 5 years? I don't know where Sham wants to be in 5 years. Does he want to be married to both Anjali and Kushi? Does he want to have a child with Anjali and a child with Kushi? Horrifying thought. Does he want to kill Anjali and be with Kushi? But killing Anjali, like, does he want to kill all of Raiza, the family, so he inherits the wealth and then marry Kushi? Does he want to kill only Anjali and stay on as a grieving damad and be in a like I'm like, what is it? What was your vision for 5 years? If you could have a dream world, what is it that you intended to do? Because I don't know. Initially, it just started off with his fascination with Kushi, and then you start to realize that, oh, he also wants all the money. Um, so I'm very confused about that. Maybe at some point his plan changed once Kushi came into his life, and he was just like, oh, I want to be with her, but I also want the money and comfort of being the Raizada Damad. Maybe his long game was just to pretend to be in love with Anjali. But that makes him stupid, because Anjali's like, why would you pretend? She's fucking beautiful. Anyway, that's my question to Sham. I would love to interview Sham.
uh, Now, talking about Sham not having an end game, my question is, what was Arnav's end game by marrying Kushi? What does he achieve? I could not understand. I mean, I understand like what he gets from Kushi is, I mean, his decision to marry Kushi, I get it, because in the sense that's the only way where, in a very toxic way, he can have maximum control of Kushi's activities and he can keep an eye as to when Kushi is meeting whom. But the thing that I find hilarious is that after the wedding, he does nothing. मतलब बंदा को कुछ करना ही नहीं है. He does not try to find out the truth. He does not take Khushi around with him. He goes to his office. That means now Khushi and Sham have a solid 8 hours to romance at home. So he does not take Khushi with him to the office. He never tries to find out the truth. He never tells Khushi why he married her. He never asks Khushi for any answers. So I'm like, if you had to marry, why make it dramatic? I'm just like, I can't understand why he married Khushi and he's like, I hate you. And then he leaves and he does nothing.
I just love the fact that this is the what do we want to call it? I don't know. I guess one of these is true. He either believes that Kushi believes in marriage enough that if he gets married to her, she would not have an extramarital affair, or he thinks she doesn't care about marriage because she's clearly pursuing a married man or in love with a married man and doesn't care for the institution of marriage. In which case, him getting married to her and bringing her into the same house where this other person lives does not serve any purpose except giving them an even better excuse to meet each other because they're in the same house. They don't even need an excuse anymore. So I don't know what he was thinking. Maybe he wasn't thinking at all. Maybe that was what, but at least he should have thought at some point in the 6 months.
Yeah, no, the logical mistake part of this is that he does nothing after the 6 months. So I'm like, point kya tha? You're doing nothing to find out the truth. Or even just not even prepping Anjali. His thing was to prep Anjali to it. So he's not even prepping Anjali.
That's my next point. I'm like, what? Like, okay, you got married to her and you said this is for 6 months. After 6 months, I will kick you out. This is a pretend marriage, contract marriage, whatever. That's the other thing. There is no contract marriage. They like, if you go to a lawyer and say we want to get married only for 6 months, we will get a divorce after, he will laugh you out of the office. So the contract marriage concept doesn't exist. I think it was just that they would get it annulled after 6 months or get a divorce after 6 months, whatever. Fine. What were you going to do? Like, you did fuck all in these 6 months. You didn't get evidence. You did not start dropping hints to Anjali or any of the family that Sham's suspectful. You didn't even tell anyone about Kushi's, like, why you got married to her. Like, there was no one you trusted. What, like, were you going to just show up at Anjali's like hospital room when she gave birth and was like, hi, so glad you gave birth, another surprise, your husband is cheating on you with my wife, let's just kick them both out? Like, was that your plan? What was your plan? Like, what did you gained 6 months by marrying Kushi? What the fuck did you do with it? Nothing.
They didn't even show that Arnav was trying to do something, but he could not. Like,
yeah, he could have tried and failed. He never tried. And then he was just like randomly like, oh, I have too much going on here. I'm going to fuck off to London right before this 6-month period was supposed to end. Yeah, I don't know. I, again, would like to interview Arnav on what the heck was going on in his mind.
So now my next point is, since we're talking about Arnav's lack of logic, this is Arnav and Khushi's lack of logic. Both of this, I don't get it. Again, in the kidnapping track, but this one needed a separate mention. When you're running away from goons, why would you stop at the most obvious point where goons will find you out?
I finally found the real meaning of mark me down as scared and horny.
Like, literally, you're running away, your life is in danger, and then they both are like, let's stop at this only place of shelter. So it's not like they came across a village where there are 5,000 huts. So they're in one of them. So there's no way that the goons would be able to find it. No, in the whole empty village or forest, there is this one hut, and they both decided to go. And instead of planning how to get out or like stopping for a quick refreshment, they both are like, let's change clothes. Kushi changes into an invisible sari that will
But
make
that
it.
this deserves its own spot. I forgot it, but Kushi has a tiny rip in her silver. She decides that that's too much, and she blushes when he looks at her. Arnav looks away like, whatever. And then she changes into something that's even less coverage. Like, I don't care. I'm like, it's consent. Like, him looking away, I understand, because no matter what it is, like, if she feels uncomfortable, he should not be seeing um her shoulder, I suppose. But like, she changes into something that does not have, like, that's sleeveless, that's bare. It's literally her dupatta as her blouse and a barely there sari. And like, what, like, why, what happened?
I'm just like, dude, you've not run away from goons. So if you have to escape, that is the most uncomfortable outfit. Also, I don't know why Arnav gets rid of his shirt. I mean, at that point, Arnav has a really good body, but I'm also like, what's happening? And I can maybe still understand him disposing his shirt. I totally thought they were going to change into different clothes and run away because the goons would be finding for a blue shirt and a red salwar kameez. They would not expect different color clothes. But it looks like I was thinking too much. Turned out they just wanted to, I don't know, weirdly make out in between the hut.
Maybe both of them had a fantasy of consummating on dry grass. um yeah, I don't know. All right, my next one is Arnav's stupid attempt at reminding Kushi of their love through all the worst moments of their relationship. The dory breaking, the tea in his face, the fact that he grabbed her. What else? Like, if you wanted to recreate something, he should have gotten an A in his hand with mehendi, or um, like set up some fairy lights on the poolside, or he could have bought her bangles again. Like, there were so many things that he could have done. Instead, he picked all the worst moments. So I don't like NK's reaction to their relationship is my reaction to their relationship, which is, why are you together?
Yeah, and to add just a little bit, like 20-second more to this, is I find it hilarious that Arab decides that the best way to appease a wife that you have so brutally hurt is to make use of her phobia, terrify her, and get her into your arms, and then show her, yay, I had like a, a, a carpet of roses for you. Kushi should have slapped him. If someone made use of my phobia to get me into their arms, थप्पड़ मिलेगा और कुछ नहीं.
Yes, there's that. And then the last one is just the entirety of Sheetal's plan for conning Arnav. I'm like, at least pick a guy you actually slept with. One, just like, like, there needs to be some guarantee to this. Like, I'm sure you went to Harvard. There must have been enough men who are rich there. Why wouldn't you just, like, why would you pick the own one guy you did? I mean, I didn't mean to say one guy she didn't sleep with, because that implies something else. But I'm also just like, what was your plan? That he was drunk. Like, he pretended to be drunk once, and you're like, that's the, like, he was drunk, so we had sex, and I got pregnant. All the random things happened at the same time. Oh, my honorable mention is, what the fuck happened between the car drive over from Arnav, like, the 6-month marriage, like, Kushi running away and Raksha Bandhan. Like, there must have been 6 months that passed in between, right? Like, Kushi could not have just, like, or she had amnesia. She hit her head too many times. This was right, like, close enough to the kidnapping track that I can imagine her not getting checked out caused some lasting damage. And yeah, what happened? What happened that you were ready to separate forever, and then your husband, kind of husband, threatened you, so you came back, but then you set up the entire house for a festival for him and his sister, who are pain in your ass, and also happily cried because he gave you jalebi and chene. Like, how would you thrown them in his face?
I believe that they escaped midway because Khushi comes back home wearing a salwar kameez that I've never seen her wear. So maybe they went to therapy for 6 months and then they came back home. Because there is no way Arnav has the audacity to be upset on her. When he comes back, he's upset on her. I'm like, you know, fourth, we're probably watching, like, maybe this is at some point, this is Inception. Maybe there's a dream within a dream and we didn't know where the dream started. It's the same. My honorable mention is, I, for, however, like, this one scene is good because IPK is making fun of itself. But I cannot understand why Kushi goes to the police to complain that her husband is missing, and she knows that because her husband said, I love you. That's hilarious. I love IPK making fun, like, taking a jibe at itself. But I also cannot imagine that the police are so lax when Kushi Kumari Gupta Singh Raizada is there. Because I would imagine that if Arnav is like an Ambani, and someone like Nita Ambani went to the police station, that people would be like, ha, we don't care about you. Like, the commissioner of police would be there. Yes, then it would be hilarious if the commissioner of police would be like, ma'am, what is your proof? And he would be trying to, like, hold back his chuckle hearing at Kushi say that, oh, my husband said I love you. But I just can't understand the logic and the idea behind the people treating Kushi like she's nobody when she is, in fact, she's someone who can get a London visa and a passport in 2 hours.
Yeah. Can I also have another question. Where the fuck did the Mangalsutra come from in the temple? Like, did Aman arrange for it beforehand? Like, the random, like, this is also not just like a thread, turmeric thread with, um, at least in South India, you can have like a yellow thread with just turmeric. Have you ever seen like the actual thing of turmeric? Like, it's tied into the thread, and you can use that as a Mangalsutra in South India. Those are around in temples because the goddess, like, you put them near the goddess or whatever. No one leaves like a gold Mangalsutra around in temples. That's just not randomly there.
Aman, dude, Aman is like, fine, you guys
Aman
are
is
going
the
to.
invisible baby Maya in these situations.
Yeah, Aman is like, listen, Arnav, you can be a dramatic little piece of shit, but I am going to make sure that the rituals are there. There is your Sindoor ka dabba, there is your Mangalsutra, go get married. Or maybe it was set up for another poor couple who were trying to elope and Arnav just went and
Stole it.
dapo-fied on it,
I can
stole
believe
it.
that. There's also like Sham just thinking that Scorpios will kill Anjali. I'm like, you're an idiot because you share the space with Anjali, like her bed, like the bedroom you share with her. How are you going to tell a Scorpio to only go bite your wife? Sham has the most like what the fuck moments though, compared to
I
everyone
mean,
else.
WTF moments that we enjoy. Like the fashion show gave me a headache. Looking at Sham, I'm like, dude, please, I love you.
I just
More
never,
crap.
I was like, I never understood his plans. The only time Anjali could have legit like gotten a head injury and died, he saves her. And all his other attempts at killing her are very funny.
I just wonder, he had this electrical wire in the pool, right? So when Anjali was falling, if she grabbed Sham and they yes. Yes, like when he was playing with the wires to make Anjali get an electric shock if he gave himself. So, yeah. With that, we finally. Rids, please wrap it up. I can't stop. What did Sham? He He's the true stan, okay? He's the true stan of Arshi, and he wanted to see things beyond what he did not want to see things that are just aired. He wanted to see things beyond. Yes. Bye.